My curtains?
And Christie's. Well, your shades and Christie's curtains. Yeah.
She just said she can see us and hear us, but doesn't know what the problem is, so we can carry on.
And Christie's. Well, your shades and Christie's curtains. Yeah.
Pardon me, that was the YouTube required public comment coming on.
It's delayed.
Yeah. Okay, if Ms. Cheryl is able to see and participate that way, then we're good to start, and I'll go ahead and call us to order. This is the County Court of Menard County sitting in probate matters today. And we're hearing cause number 2023-02181 in the matter of the estate of Robert J. Sieker, who is deceased. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Sieker?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Corbin, you can go ahead.
Okay. Robert, will you please state your name for the court?
Robert Brasher Sieker,
And what's your address?
838 West 22nd Street, Houston, Texas, 77008.
And you are the son of Robert J. Sieker, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're gonna call the decedent Robert J. Sieker Bobby, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, there you go.
that'll maybe help us out a little bit. So you're Bobby's son, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Bobby passed away on April the 8th, 2023 in San Antonio in Bexar County, Texas. Is that right?
Ma'am.
And at that time he was 78 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
And he was domiciled. He had a fixed place of residence in Texas when he passed away. Is that right?
Yes.
And he owned real estate in several counties, and Menard County was one of those. Is that right?
Yes.
And basically he owned some property, some real estate, cash, some vehicles, bank accounts, just kind of general real and personal property, and with a value in excess of $10,000. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he did leave a will, and that will was dated January 12th, 2017. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this court has posted a citation and done what they needed to do in order, and we waited the appropriate amount of time for us to have this hearing. Is that correct, as far as you know?
Yes, ma'am.
And we do need to have an administration of Bobby's estate because there are some debts that we need to pay and some property that we need to get transferred. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The will that Bobby left, it was a self-proved will, meaning it was signed and witnessed and notarized and had all the requirements that Texas law says that it needs to have to make it a self-proved will. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And he didn't ever revoke that will formally, as far as you know.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And he didn't leave any property to a state or a government agency or a charitable organization in that will, did he?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. After he made that will, he did not have any children born to or adopted by him, did he?
No.
And he didn't have a marriage dissolved after he made that will.
No.
And he named you to serve as the independent executor in that will. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And in that will, he named you to serve independently without a bond or other securities, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the will that we have that we provided to the court is what we believe to be a copy of the original will. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And we have not provided an original will because you have performed a diligent search and his surviving spouse, Cheryl, has, and we were not able to locate the actual original. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we've included in our application a list of the beneficiaries in this will. And those beneficiaries are you, Bobby's surviving spouse, Cheryl, his daughter, who's your sister, Emily, and then also Lindsay, who is his stepdaughter, Cheryl's daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as you know, there's not any other heirs that Bobby has that would have inherited if he had not had a will. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we've noticed everyone knows we're doing this will, and he didn't leave anybody out. So we're going to go ahead and ask that the court admit the will to probate, even though we just have a copy. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, we provided the proof for probate, and it's true that you and I have gone over the qualifications of an executor in Texas. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as you know, you are qualified and you are not disqualified to serve as an executor, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
So I know I had to ask you if you've been convicted of a felony, and you said no. So is that still true?
Not convicted. No.
You haven't been convicted of anything since you met with me a couple weeks ago, have you?
Right. No,
Okay, good.
I'm clean.
And perfect. And you're over 18 and you're a Texas resident. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've never been declared incapacitated by a court, have you?
No.
Not formally anyway, right?
Not formally. That's right.
Okay. So are you asking the court to admit your dad's will to probate and to appoint you as the independent executor of his estate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sieker, I did this a little backwards today, but do you swear that the information and testimony you provided today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
Yes, sir.
I only do one of these about every 6 months, so I'm a little rusty.
I can't believe I didn't catch that and correct it. That really would have been the best
I'm
thing.
surprised you missed an opportunity to correct me as well. Thank you for addressing the copy. I appreciate you providing me some extra information because that was one of my questions. So I don't have anything further. Ms. Cheryl, if you can hear me, I am going to give you one more opportunity. If you can unmute, if there's anything else that you'd like to say at this point or information you would provide the court, this is your opportunity. Done. I will take this order as presented and upon review, sign off and accept this proposal to admit this will to probate and authorize letters testamentary.
Thank you. Christy, if we could let's do 3 letters, and I won't pick them up until tomorrow because I'm in Angela. So.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Mr. Sieker, there's a few posting requirements and things you have to file. Your attorney should be a good guide for you through that process. Just stay in contact. If you have any other questions for us at this point?
No, sir.
And you do have his oath, right? I think we filed it as well.
I do believe in this information. I have a copy of his oath. I saw that.
Okay.
Yep, there it is. Okay.
Awesome.
There's nothing further. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you all.
guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Albert.
Bye.